Hello everyone, and welcome back to Legend of Grimrock. I don't know if anyone actually noticed, but I did a major derp at the end, well actually in the middle of last episode. I forgot to rename my last prisoner, so he was actually called New Prisoner. So I just changed his name to Skitter now, which I feel is quite fitting for an insectoid mage. And, well, let's go on, I guess. Okay, here we have throwing knives. These obviously go to our rogue. Hey look, another snail. Two of them actually. Okay, let's pick that stuff back up. You see I got the throwing star back pretty much instantly. That was kind of silly. Okay. No, that actually gave me a second snail slice, which is just food. Nice to have, I guess. I might as well give him the rock. Actually, no, I'll keep the rock. Might as well give him the throwing star, the throwing dagger, in the other hand. Okay. Still getting, you know, used to the controls a bit. Taking the torch with me. Okay, this is a different kind of locked door. I will need a key to open this again. Then we've already had a key requiring door, but I'm not actually certain. Just want to make sure I didn't already pick up the key. I did not. Oh, and there we can see the effects of our torch slowly running out. See how the light is kind of flickering and changing? And the torch is actually, if you see, it's dim. That means it's about to run out. I'll already give my mage a new one. But it's still giving some light, which should be fine. So until it runs out completely, I'll keep it. Here we have a baked maggot, more food of course, and another stone, that's nice, some sandals. And a loincloth. And I don't believe there's any hidden buttons in this room. I can obviously open that door, but I just want to make sure I found everything else first. Yep. Because here we have more food and another stone. To close the pit, something needs to fly. Which is obviously a hint as to what we have to do here, because if we just move forward... we hear a strange noise. We've actually fallen down to the second level now, the old tunnels. That's the level we were on, the Into the Dark level, I guess. And the next level is old tunnels, where we obviously fell down into a lower layer. And we took some damage from that, but not too much. I will still use the opportunity to rest. And if I just hit the R button, that makes my party rest. I should only do that if there's no enemies about, because obviously if I sleep with enemies around, they'll attack me and I will be woken up rather rudely. But that's a nice way to restore lost energy and health. You can't fly, what can? So if I step into these particles here, it's a teleporter which puts me back to the riddle. Now of course something needs to fly, which means I have to throw something. And so use shift to only get one rock, and I'll throw it over, and that lands on the pressure plate, triggering it. Ta-da! I get a key. Now what I'll actually do is I will switch here and put a torch down and take the rock with me, because rocks are slightly more useful than torches, I feel. And just making absolutely sure, yeah, there's nothing else here. Okay, so let's check some of the equipment we found. These are sandals, they give 1 point of protection, which we might well give to our backline rogue. And the loincloth doesn't give any protection, but it gives additional attack power, but decreases willpower. So for the moment I'm actually giving this to my backline rogue, because he doesn't have anything else, of course, and he doesn't really require the protection at this point. Because in the ideal circumstances my front line will be hit. And it should be noted that because of how the game works, protection, to me at least, seems a little less useful than evasion, so it might well be that this guy ends up being our damage dealer and this woman ends up being the tank, because with the evasion she might be able to tank far more. And our torch has been dim for a long time, so you don't have to instantly replace it. Now we found a key, which we might need right here. Okay. No enemy instantly attacking us. Sirens outside, I hope you don't hear those too much. So right here we have a heal my sight riddle. And this is very typical for these kinds of dungeon crawling games. It's a statue with empty eye sockets, it needs something put in there, and you can't just use anything. It's obviously going to have to be some kind of gemstone or eye stone or something along those lines. So I'll try this side first, see what I can find. And for example, I could now place a note here and saying heal my sight. And then if I want to go back and check what this riddle does, it'll tell me heal my sight. It's not so relevant. Okay, this torch is now at its end, it's dying. Let's see how long it lasts. Just a few seconds, okay. And the dead torch I'll still keep if I need to put it on a pressure plate, for example, but it's pretty much useless now. That's the only use it still has. You can't put it on pressure plates, basically. Okay, here's another one of these drops. I should probably actually just try it and jump down. I definitely heard something. Yes, I did. And I want, if possible, everyone in my party to... controls, don't leave me now. Ideally, I want everyone to deal damage to the enemy at least once, so they get experience for it. And I'm still very much not exactly friendly with the control. Okay, a peasant's cap. It doesn't give much protection, but it's better than nothing, of course. And of course, as you notice, we've been put into a different place this time. It's exactly where we go down the hole. Basically, we end up in the second level. So first put us down here, the second put us down here. If you were to count the tiles, it would match up exactly. Okay. Everyone's still doing okay food-wise. That's this bar, by the way. As long as it's green, everything's fine. So that teleporter also puts us right back where we started from. Okay. Doesn't appear like there's anything in here. Does appear like there's something in here. Okay. And what do we get? A tattered cloak. Cloaks give bonus to evasion and they go into this slot here, so that's nice. I'm still giving my tank preference, and a second loincloth, which I have no use for really. I mean, I guess for the moment I could give it to my tank, but I will find better things for him quite soon. And I guess my mage can use the additional protection. And here we find our first scroll, the Scroll of Fireburst. I've already used this spell because I happen to know how it's used. But these scrolls, we find these all over the dungeon from time to time. They tell us how to use certain spells. Now, as I said, I've already done this one a few times, so that's just how it's cast. I actually know a fair amount of the spells, so I might just use those instead of waiting for the scroll. Okay. Don't believe there's anything else in here, so... Come on, have at me. And another snail slice. I didn't really want that. Okay, come on. And by doing it this way, I only have to fight one of the snails at a time. Very convenient. Although the snails aren't really very dangerous, so... Darn. Closed the door, so I actually hit myself in the face with the fire burst. I'm warming up to the controls, don't worry. It'll happen soon. Get these guys back. And in here we have the first of the gemstones. A blue gem. And a secret. Which... Darn. Controls. And I placed the burned out torch through this gate. I can place things on pressure plates. And I can take it with me again, because I don't believe there's anything left in there. Now, I did find a secret. Just don't know where exactly... well, I did find that secret button, so... I just have to find out what that actually did. Might have opened this. I don't know. Sort of doubt it, to be honest, but... Okay, new enemies. Take the torch. Still learning the controls, I'm sorry. I don't know. I think I'll rest. Regen everyone up. Okay, ready the spell? Open up. That wasn't so bad, now was it? And they drop herder caps, which is also a type of food. This weighs a little bit less than the snail slices. I believe that means it'll also restore less, so I'll just use that to get my cow back up to full food. Everyone else is pretty much fine. And keep in mind the the insects actually use less food. Have to avoid trying to attack with a torch on my mage, because that's useless. He's in the second row, so he can't even reach the front row. Otherwise, a torch would obviously deal some damage, but not very much. And this is not really a food. I think it also has a use in making certain potions. So, it's also a food, I guess, but not exclusively. Whoa, that was silly. As I said, very much fighting the controls at the moment. Okay. Everyone's still alive, we're all fine. I accidentally hit the R button actually instead of the E button in the middle of that fight, so you saw what happens when you try to rest in fight. Nothing useful. And enemies will patrol a bit, so ideally, before resting you might want to, for example, close this door, because I know everything behind the door is safe, so... Okay, we have a door here that's kind of closed, which means we need to find a way to open it. Okay, I will make a quick cut here to... Okay, that's opened what I wanted open. Very nice. There's also a hidden button in here. And that opened this little place. Very nice. Giving me a dagger. 2 pieces of cave nettle. And a tar bead. Okay, I'll make a cut here and I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, just wanted to make sure I didn't go over my self-allotted time, which I didn't do the timer quite right, so... Okay, I believe we've explored pretty much everything except for the heal my sight bit of the level. And I really have not very much a sense of orientation, so I get lost quite quickly and have to check the map frequently. Okay, this will open up this door, which, whoa, will place me directly in front of a new enemy. Nice, everyone leveled up. Okay. This gives us the guy's spear and the guy's shield. The shield gives evasion +5. I will use that on my cow. And the dagger we found earlier is actually an improvement on the knife. You see, higher speed, higher accuracy, and higher attack power. So an improvement in every way. And my backline rogue will now actually get a spear. A spear is a reach weapon, so I can actually use that from the back row. And now we have some level ups. I should really remember to use my timer properly, shouldn't I? We have 4 skill points each level. I am not 100% certain which kind of weapon I'll be using. I'll probably be going for axes. But since I currently don't really have one, and I don't want to spec 3 different weapon types, I will put my points into armor, giving me a 10 point bonus to health and 1 point of protection. I need to spec this all the way up to 16 at least, so I can wear heavy armor without any negative effects. Which usually the way it works is heavy armor will have a penalty to evasion if I don't have the proficiency with it. My rogue, the frontline one, I will improve her dodging abilities. It's not so important to be good with daggers at this point, and I eventually want her to have the light armor proficiency. Okay, I don't want to spec throwing weapons. I won't be using them that much. They're just my current weapon of choice because I don't have anything else. So on him I will just be speccing further into missile weapons. Okay, our torch is going out. On the mage, I know pretty much all of these spells. I know there's an important or very useful one in the lightning school. But I also know I want some spellcraft. So I'm just speccing spellcraft to 5. The advantage of that is I can actually learn this spell, which is a light spell. And that does, well, exactly what it says on the tin. By the way, I could take these out again. I don't believe they have any further purpose in the game, but I can. Okay, another torch. I think I'll be doing this little secret, and then I'll probably be gone. So we find a scroll here. This is not a spell scroll. It basically tells us a little bit about the game. Doors of iron. Great rewards can be found behind these doors. To gain access, look carefully for small details and use your wits. So this is an iron door. Opening them usually requires a little bit of sneakiness, but this one's fairly easy. And inside we find a nice little secret, which is actually the final secret of this level. We find a scroll. This magical staff is a powerful weapon when wielded by a potent mage. Well, we only have one mage. And this whitewood wand requires spellcraft, at least level 1, which I have. And it gives +5 energy, and it can be used to cast spells. So instead of attacking with it, I can use it to use spells. Very nice, very cool. And I think with that secret, I'm going to end it. Actually, I'll show you this final feature. Crystal of Life. Touch to regain health and restore life. So in case any of my characters died, this is where I can resurrect them. There's no other way. And it also gives me a save, which I don't really need because I can save at any point. And it heals everyone fully. It restores pretty much the entire party to perfect health. There's no... It also gets rid of poison and disease and all those things, but those will only come into effect later. Anyway, I think this is a good point to end the episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon in The Legend of Grimrock. Bye bye!